How you doing, YouTube? Beer review time, and there's a fucking car. Anyway, beer review time. We're reviewing Grolsch Premium Pilsner. This is made in Holland by the Grolsch Brewing Company. Grolsch used to be owned by SAB Miller, although when Anheuser-Busch, InBev, whatever, wanted to buy SAB Miller, they then, because of regulations and monopoly and all that, SAB had to sell off some of their stuff. They sold Grolsch off to Asahi, so this is now owned by Asahi, but brewed in Holland by the Grolsch Brewing Company. Says here ever since 1615, so if it's been around that long, must be good. Now, of course, the top's a little different. This used to be ceramic, now they make them in plastic, but the way you open it, in case you didn't know. Oh, that was a little anticlimactic. The first one I had, when I opened it, it shot up and everything. This did, but you still got a really nice pop. Honestly, that's pretty satisfying. At least just the pop. Anyway, this is and you get a little bit of smoke out of there. That's nice. This container, that should be enough. This container here is 15.2 fluid ounces. And one thing I do like about it is it's resealable. Got a little gasket and everything. So this is a 5% Euro Pilsner. Very beautiful looking beer though. It's reasonably light, but I'd say a little bit darker than your Bud Miller Coors. Not quite pale, more golden. Got a nice white head, about 2 fingers. Smell wise, a sweet kind of white bread smell. Maybe white bread crust with, there's a little something on the glass there. I've been drinking out of this. With a very small hint of like floral hops. You get a little bit of a grassiness, kind of like Heineken. Although unlike a lot of Heineken beers, or unlike a lot of green bottle beers, this one does not smell skunk like some Heinekens I've had. Also, another thing about the bottle I enjoy is you have Grolsch embossed right here on the glass. That's very nice. Overall, just a very nice presentation for this beer. Let's go ahead and take a swallow. And the flavor kind of goes hand in hand with the smell. You get a light bread character with a little bit of floral hops in it. Very clean. I keep wanting to compare this to Heineken, and it's somewhat similar in the flavor, but you don't get like that metallic note I get with Heineken. It's a lot cleaner and maybe even more complex. I don't know. It has, to me, a little bit more going on than Heineken, but Heineken has its own kind of deal going on. Heineken to me is a little dirty and a little perfumey. This is a lot more cleaner while still maintaining a real good complexity. Definitely a step up from your basic gas station, your Euro lagers like you'll see Heineken, Beck, Stella Artois. Those, I like Stella Artois, and I do like Beck's pretty good. But this is definitely a step up. And once again, I got to return to the bottle here. This looks like what they'd give a race car driver after you won a big race. I can imagine like at a Formula 1 race. You get that out and you take a swallow. It looks nice. And I've even read some blogs where people who do homebrewing will just keep Grolsch bottles around, and they will use that to put some of their homebrew in instead of buying new bottles. And they say, with that plastic gasket on it and everything, little rubbery gasket, it keeps pretty good. And one more thing I do like about the Grolsch presentation here is you get an ingredients list right here. It's very small, but ingredients is water, malted barley, and hops. Of course, got to put yeast in it, but no adjunct in this at all. And you don't get a corny flavor as you would get with a lot of American interpretations of a Pilsner. Your American adjunct lagers. But it's still sweet, but it doesn't have that just corny kind of flavor to it. It's just a mild, like slightly sweet bread kind of character. And you get, like I said, you have that very mild hop character on the back. It's not incredibly bitter, but it's more about the flavor they get from the hops more than the bitter ink. You get, you know, a little bit of a bitter note, but for the most part, it is just, you know, a light, grassy, floral, like maybe a hint of like a, you know, a little citrus or something going on there. But overall, very smooth, very clean. You know, it's not a huge amount of flavor, but each flavor is definitely well refined and balanced. Although I will say, this, maybe it's also because I just got done eating a bunch of Cracker Barrel like about an hour and a half ago. Gets you a tad on the bloated side. I don't feel like I would buy a bunch of these and be killing them left and right, although it's not quite a sipper either. This is something, you know, because it is still somewhat light. I can see having a couple of these sitting on the front porch, you know, when it's warm outside. It's cooling down now, but it's still very good. But when it's warm outside, or being on a boat or something and drinking one or two of these and just, you know, drinking on them and having a good time, not really trying to get fucked up or nothing. This ain't a bush where you're just like killing them. No, you know, you sit here and you'll enjoy it, but you know, it's not quite a really heavy imperial stout where you're just sitting here just sipping on it, but you sit here and you're just enjoying yourself. And this is a very enjoyable beer. As far as ratings go for the style, I haven't had a huge amount of Euro lagers, but I've had a reasonable amount, you know. I've tried a couple of different things. But I'm going to have to go ahead and give this, I'm going to say 8.75 out of 10. This is a very, very good beer. A very good example of the style. Instead of, you know, a lot of people go Euro lager, Heineken. Okay, yeah. But if I, you know, was trying to introduce people to different kinds of beers, and I was going to go Euro lager, I'd probably, you know, this is definitely would be something I would pick for that. I haven't had it yet, although I do plan on trying Pilsner or Quail. That could be another good, excuse me, could be another good example, and from what I've heard it is. But 8.75 out of 10. Make sure to like, rate, and subscribe if you care to. Make sure to be drinking a damn good beer, but most importantly, make sure to kill your local pedophile. Your local pedophile, just making sure you know.